When you are worried, do you prefer the illusion of control or continuing to worry? That is a fundamental question that we have in life as human beings, as animals with abstract reasoning and the capacity to feel stressed by things that can occur a long way in the future. Now, in the ancient world, your life and the life of your family depended upon good weather, not too many birds, and whatever, right? This caused you stress. Now you're settling in the fall, you've got your seed crop, and things are, until at least winter crops like turnips were developed or were used in farming starting at the early Middle Ages. You kind of didn't have a huge amount to do in the winter, so you kind of worry a lot. Is it going to get too cold? Are we going to run out of wood? Are we going to run out of food? And so maybe, just maybe, there's someone in your tribe who's got a really soothing manner. They can make you feel better. And they will say to you, listen, there's a God. And this God can guarantee you a short winter and a favorable spring and bountiful crops next summer. Now, if you believe that, then your anxiety is relieved. And will you pay that person to relieve your anxiety for the next couple of months? Sure. I mean, it's a reasonably decent service that person is providing you. You can sleep better, you're not stressed, you're not worried. And so someone can come along and say, I am going to sell you relief from anxiety in return for money or obedience or whatever it is, right? And the only thing the linguists can do is sell you relief from stress. Well, what do? Very simply, what they do is they create or invent the stress that Mother Nature is no longer providing because you actually have some rational control over your environment. They don't just give up and roll over and say, well, I guess we'll go from being languicides and takers to productive makers. They don't want to do that because this is what they're adapted to. So instead of relieving people from a stress inflicted by Mother Nature, the linguicides evolved into inflicting the verbal abuse to replace the physical abuse that Mother Nature used to inflict. The linguicides now start inflicting the abuse and offer you relief from their verbal abuse, just as they offered you relief from nature's physical abuse. They offer you relief from their verbal abuse if you give them resources. You see? So instead of, I'm going to give you relief from the fear that your crops might not last through the winter, now I'm going to not call you a racist or a sexist or a homophobe or an Islamophobe or whatever if you give me resources.